Hello, and welcome to the Next Level Loan Officers Podcast, the number one podcast for loan officers by loan officers.
With real originators in the trenches, just like you every single day.
If they can go there, how come I can't go there? Well, you can.
Like if you don't water your plants, you don't have future crops. You can't feed your family. You can't make a living. This is watering your crops.
You have to find your community and you have to dig in.
If it wasn't for you guys, I can tell you, probably my trajectory would have been a completely different one.
We'll see you on the next Level Loan Officers Podcast.
Hello, everybody. This is your Next Level Loan Officers Podcast, the number one podcast for loan officers by loan officers. I am Sean Zalmanoff, and I am joined today by the Kellen Vaughan. Kellen, it's always a good day when I see you, bro. How are you?
Hey, man. Great to see you as well. I'm doing well and excited to be here.
It's always exciting to be here. So one of the things that we talk about inside of Next Level, it might as well be one of our founding principles, is it's the person with the most friends wins. And in order to have friends, you can't be a mute. You can't have flamingo syndrome, which that means when you just stick your head in the sand, because then your mouth is just...
Is that an ostrich or is that a flamingo?
I don't know, man. I'm a mortgage guy, not a biologist, or a zookeeper or whatever you would have to be to know that. I don't know. But if your mouth's full of sand and if you don't talk, you can't win. You can't have any conversations and you can't get loans. And, frankly, I mean, there's some people who probably would like to just hang around somebody who doesn't speak at all, but the majority of the population is not like that. Right. And so Kellen was just talking to me before this about the things that he's doing to consistently win. And I mean, he said three things. He said conversations. So Kellen, man, tell the world a little more about what you're doing right now.
Well, Sean, this isn't earth-shattering by any means, but it's a good reminder for a lot of
people. It's a good reminder.
Right? And I'll tell you, too, you mentioned it, and there's a couple ways to phrase it up. The person with the most friends wins. The person with the most friends makes the most money, either way you want to slice that. But, yeah, I mean, the reality is, and is that you asked me, what are we doing? Your question to me was, what are we doing that's working? And I kind of chuckled like, that's a bit of a loaded question in this market. However, when you think about it, I said, the reality is like what's working is conversations. And you said, well, who? I said, great question. We're having conversations with past clients. So whether that's refinancing opportunities, even in this current market, we've done several cash out refis, but we're also prepping them for what's to come. Whether that's conversations with referral partners, both current and potential. So, we've got, new referral partners that we're putting on our bench that, maybe their loan officer isn't around anymore, or maybe they're just looking for a change or looking to do something different. And then other referral partners, so CPAs, insurance guys, financial planners, all those kinds of folks who refer business out to us and we can refer business back to them. We're looking to strengthen and build those relationships too as we head into the new year. So it's really 3 or 4 pretty distinct groups of people that we are actively engaging with, actively having conversations with, and trying to build those deeper relationships.
So like, whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas or Hanukkah or any of those days, like, I mean, on Christmas, you're probably not calling your CPA or a realtor, but days before, days after, I mean, it's just a conversation. And it's just, hey, I'm thinking about you. It's not, hey, dude, what business do you have for me? Like, we know how to do this and how to win and execute on these, because if people don't think about you, if your past clients don't think about you, like, I mean, I have a loan a month, a loan every other month that I save from some moron lender. And, those loan, like the lender usually screwed up on one instance, or they don't understand one guideline, and then you get to come in and save the day and close it in like 8 days. And the reason you can close it so quick is because they really did all the work. You look like the hero because they missed one guideline, but they already have all their stuff, and they think, my God, Sean, Kellen, you are so amazing, best loan officer on the planet. And I'm like, yeah, but I also say, hey, like, your other person didn't know this, but they also made it easier on me because, you put all this paperwork together. So I take a lot of the credit, but I can't close every loan in 8 days unless somebody has a pretty stacked file to give me. But I mention that because, like, they love you at the closing. They praise you at the closing. They're telling you how amazing you are. And for a couple days, they think about you. But then they don't, because they care about their house, their family, the things they're doing. They care about moving in that house. And so, like, if you don't remind them how great you are all the time, and it's not, hey, Kellen, man, you remember when I saved the day and closed your loan? It's not that conversation.
Right.
It's just, hey, here I am. Hey, here's what's going on. Hey, how are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Those kind of things. Oh, here's something of value. Like, I already have like my value emails planned for 2024, because I'm not going to be sending the, hey, guess what? It's St. Patrick's Day. Here's a leprechaun email that, those out of the box CRMs, I chuckle because I'm on a few of them, and that what they get. So I'm having different conversations and different communications, even if it's via email, to lead to an offline conversation.
Right. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think, and I beg to differ a little bit because I sent some texts on Thanksgiving Day, Sean. I mean, now, quick, easy. Hey, thinking about you, thankful for our partnership, thankful for our business. That's good stuff right there. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I love the fact that you're already thinking, and this is a good reminder for everybody listening to this, right? That the ones that are going to win are already thinking about 2024. They're already planning out 2024. When you have that stuff already planned out, boy, it sure makes execution a lot easier, right? So kudos to you for that. But yeah, you're right. It's not, I think a lot of people, we've coached a lot of loan officers, Sean, and I know that, like, we get a lot of people who get a little bit of paralysis when it comes to stuff like this. And it's like they don't know what to say, so they just don't say anything at all. And they get real hung up on like the content and what's going out. And I go, the content really doesn't matter. The reality is that you just want them to see your name on a regular basis. I remember, gosh, I know when it was February of 2020, because COVID was right around the corner, but we had an event in San Diego, if you remember. And I remember thinking at the time, like, man, one of the holes in my business was really communicating with my past database on a regular basis. And HomeBot happened to be at our event. And I remember talking with them and signing up right there on the spot, because I was like, man, what an easy way that I could automate that whole process and kind of like take that piece off my plate. And if you think about that, I signed up then in February, and my emails started going out. And what happened 3 or 4 months later?
Rates dropped a little bit.
Rates dropped a little bit. We had the greatest refinance boom ever, right? But here I was already ahead of the game. If I had not signed up then or not done it, I would have missed the boat. So by having that in place and that rolling out already, I made a significant amount of money just off that piece of it. So the fact that all of us should be currently planning for 2024, currently having those conversations, preparing for that opportunity.
So I'm going to give you guys a little tip right here. So one of the things that I have going out, it is a Stoic quote. I'm into philosophy because I am a work in progress on being a better human being, especially a more patient father for my children. And I have found that Stoicism provides a lot for me that I am nowhere close to where I want to be, but like it provides things that I think about and try to execute in my life on a daily basis. So there is a text going out on January 1st to like my database of like 7,000 or 8,000 people that is going to be like, hey, check your email. I hope you have a great year. I want to share one of the things with you that's been the most impactful in my life. And it is a video of me just talking about a little quote that they can, they can click on and watch. It's in Loom. They can do it Loom, Bomb, whatever that you have. So not Happy New Year, whatever.
Right.
Of course, I'm going to say Happy New Year, but I'm going to provide value. And Kellen, you mentioned something that you've done a couple cash out refinances.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know in Texas, doing home equity lines of credit, although I think they're coming, you still like can't do them, right? They've never been able to do them. Cash out refinances, you can't gamble your house away. And, we've talked about that before. It's an interesting market.
Yes, I think there are some wholesalers that are rolling out a HELOC product, but for the most part in Texas, HELOCs belong to the banks and we do the cash out.
So, nobody wants to give up their 2.5% interest rate right now. So if you're not in Texas, you got the ability to do some HE loans, some HELOCs, but there's some people who, man, like they've put themselves in a pickle and maybe they only owe $100,000 left on their house, but they've got an expensive car loan right now. They've got a lot of credit card debt. Like if you go back and look at the stats from Black Friday and Cyber Monday, that the credit card spending, I think, was up like 19%. So that means that, and it was record spending. So not only were people spending more, but they're financing more on credit cards than they ever have. The amount of credit card debt is over $1 trillion that happened in 2023. It's never been that high before, never crested over that amount. And there's also an interesting article that I read about doom spending. So you guys all, you've heard of doom scrolling. You're just sitting on your phone and all of a sudden, you've wasted half of your life away. Well, people are doom spending. The article said 96% of Americans are concerned in one way or another about the economy right now. Mm-hmm. And so, although some of them don't have any cash, like some of them shouldn't eat another candy bar, but they do. Some of us shouldn't have another piece of pie at dessert, but we do. But a lot of them shouldn't spend any more money, but they're out spending cash right now because it makes them feel better. It's a temporary fix. It's like a drug. It wears off. It's worthless. And then you got to go get more. But I bring that up because there are cash out refinances that are on the table. There are people that if you break down and be like, hey, dude, like if we took this other $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 in debt and freed up $1,400 in cash flow for you a month. Yep. I mean, I know you got this 2.5% rate that gets paid off in 27 years from now, but I can give you a rate of whatever, 7.5, and I can pay off the same debt in 18 years because if you take all of that cash that we save here and use your cash flow, you win. So there are opportunities, and you can only have those opportunities if you have a conversation.
That's it. And I'll make a quick plug and then we'll wrap up here. But I've been using the MBS Highway has a blended rate tool. So the reality is most people say, well, I got this 3% rate. I'm not going to give it up. I'm like, yeah, but if you add in your credit card debt at 24 or 29%, this and that, your blended rate is really 5.5 or 5, right? And so it's like, well, going to 6.5 is not that big of a deal because the reality is you're much further away from that than you think you are.
Amen.
There you go.
Free so guys, we've talked about a lot of this inside of our community inside of Next Level Pro. We have these conversations every day. We've been talking about planning your ATMs, executing on a high level because you have to right now in order to win when the business turns. Like, yeah, rates are going to drop and yeah, there's going to be a mini refi boom, but there just weren't that many transactions. So no, there's like, you're not going to kill it like you did because rates aren't going back to where they were. I pray, because I don't want those set of circumstances to ever happen in our world again. So go over to becomenl.com right now. You can join our community for free and check everything out. You can also join pro if you really want to move the needle in your business. But guys, you need to probably do something, and conversations and becoming part of Next Level are two things you can do today. Kellen?
BecomeNL.com. Have a great day, everyone.
Peace out, friends.